Hello everybody, it's Amy from Winterwood Studio and welcome to my studio. We have a super fun video for today. It is the art supplies you must try in 2025, my favorite art supplies from 2024. These are the supplies that I discovered and really loved last year. Not like my tried and true tested supplies that I use day in and day out. These are the ones that I found last year and am loving. It is a very requested video, so come on in, get yourself something cozy to drink. I've got my tea here today and we will have a little chat and I will tell you all about my favorite supplies from last year. Okay, so this was going to be a list of 10 supplies, but it ended up being 11 because I couldn't cut one. I had it like 14 and I narrowed it down. But this is my 11 top favorite supplies from last year, and I have a little note here just so I don't forget and screw up because, you know, I get a little, yeah. Oh, and my headphones are here. Okay, so the top, not the top, but the first supply, because these aren't ranked, these are just ones that I loved. But the first supply that I found last year that I really loved was the Caran d'Ache pan gouache. And I almost didn't buy this because it didn't have the greatest ratings. I'd heard a lot of people saying like, oh, it was sticky, or they, I don't know. I don't really know. What I know is that I absolutely love these. I have taken these out many times plein air painting. I've worked in my sketchbook with them many times, and I love these. They re-wet well, they're nice and opaque. Are they as opaque and creamy as gouache from the tube? No, but I have gouache from the tube when I want that. What I wanted these specifically for is taking out plein air painting and also for working in my sketchbook and not having to like set up and squeeze out a bunch of paints. And these are perfect for that. I do know I think that this color here might not be light fast, but I think the majority, the rest of them are rated as light fast, so be aware of that. But like I said, for what I wanted these for, these are perfect for me. If you have ever like had like the Hemi gouache or sets like that, you don't have to worry about these drying out. You don't have to spray them with water once a week to keep them from getting all yucky. Like, they're meant to be re-wettable. And on top of that, I don't know how they do it, but they have not cracked. They have not fallen out of their pans. They're not dry and crumbly. And every time I've tried to make my own palette with gouache, that's what happens to me. So these are absolutely perfect for what I want, and I could not achieve this with my tubes of gouache, so I am loving these very much. So that is supply number 1, and as I go through these, I think I'll just put them on the floor. Oh, my necklace. Okay. This video is sponsored by me. No. So as you guys may have heard already, I'm having a grand reopening of my shop. And yes, there's some original art in there and stuff too, but for those of you that don't know, my day job for the last 20 years was as a jeweler and silversmith. And I haven't been doing any of it for the last 2 years, and I was really missing it. So one of my New Year's resolutions was to start making some stuff again. And there is going to be a ton of jewelry in my shop launch. I think this is going up Saturday, February 15th, which is when the day my shop is opening. It will be open at 4 p.m. for 4 p.m. Central Time for the general public, but it will open for my patrons the day before. So hopefully there's still some stuff left. I don't know, but this is one of the things that will be in there. This is a necklace that I just made with labradorite and sterling silver, and some matching earrings right there. A lot of the stuff that I made is because I want to wear stuff. So like I can't remember if I made 2 or 3 pairs of these. So there'll either be 1 or 2 in the shop of these sterling silver labradorite earrings. But mostly like I wanted some fun jewelry, and the older I get, the more like I think I'm regressing to like childhood, and like I was born in 1980, so you know I'm older, but I'm like regressing to like the bright Lisa Frank colors and like the sparkles and the glitter, and like I've always had like a fascination with like medieval times and like fantasy literature and like dragons, all of that stuff. So a lot of the silver stuff that I do sort of reflects that. like elven magic, Lord of the Rings type feel. So all of that will be in my shop at 4 p.m. today, and it is password protected up until then, so if you try to get in there before then, you will not be able to get in because that's for my patrons. I assume I was showing you some jewelry during that time, and also a lot of my, not all of it, but a lot of my original art will be up for sale too for the first time, so check it out. And like I said, this video is sponsored by me. All right, back to our list here. So the second thing I found that I am really, really loving, and have already purchased a new one, which you will see, is the Strathmore Mixed Media, oh, I'm all washed out, the Strathmore Mixed Media sketchbooks. So I started with this one. I was not expecting a lot from it. It's not super expensive, but then I did, let's flip to I did this little page here with watercolors, and I suddenly realized, like, this is the best watercolor paper sketchbook that I have tried so far. And in fact, I do have a watercolor sketchbook review video coming up soon. I'm going to review, I think, like 10 different brands of sketchbooks, so that will be coming up soon if you want to see what I don't like and what I do like. But so far, of the ones that I've tested, this is my favorite for watercolor, and it's also not super pricey. I did get this slightly larger size, and the reason why I think I like this so much is because it's 100% cotton, and it is very hard to find good sketchbooks with 100% cotton paper in it. It's not cold pressed, so be aware of that, but it takes watercolor really, really well. But I'm still on the hunt for a perfect watercolor sketchbook, cold pressed, hopefully. So if anybody has any recommendations for me or anybody else watching for the best cold pressed sketchbook that you've ever tried, please put them in the comments, because I am befuddled. I can't find one that I like, so please help me out and tell me what your favorite cold pressed watercolor sketchbook is. Anyway, so let's go on to number 2. Okay, at first I thought that I had wasted my money on these, and you might have seen the video where I was talking about that, but these are the Blackwing pencils, and the more I use them, the more I love them, and I will tell you why. The reason why is, if you do black and white illustrations at all, and I do, then you will know, like, how, not irritating, but like you have to have your whole range of pencils out to do a black and white illustration from your softest to your darkest. With these, you only really need one pencil. You can get a full range from this pencil, from the lightest light to the darkest dark. So that makes it really easy to do black and white illustrations with one pencil instead of having to have your whole set out. I'm taking these a lot with me when I go sketching, and I don't have to take all my pencils. I like to do like portraits and stuff with, and still lifes too, with these, and they're great. I'm sorry if you're hearing rustling, that's my Miss Frita over there. She hears my voice and wants to come play, so. Anyway, I said anyway like 100 times already in this video. You should count and tell me how many times I said it. The Blackwing pencils, at first I was like, oh, it's a waste of money, but it's, for convenience sake, it's not. If you only have a little bit of money though and you want the full range of color, it's probably cheaper to buy like a set of drawing pencils than these. But if you want to splurge and you like the convenience factor, then these are great. I hope my hair's not too crazy. It's super cold again today, you guys. It was, I think, negative 22 Fahrenheit when I woke up this morning. So I've been wearing my hat already today, and my hair gets all fuzzy and frizzy and weird in the winter. On to the next thing. You're not here to talk about hair. So my next most favorite thing that I tried this year was the Holbein Acrylic Gouache. Now, as you know, these are a little bit pricey. I was reluctant to try them because of the price, and I figured, like, I mean, they can't be that great, I told myself, and they're really expensive, and I don't want to get into having to have to buy those, and but the thing is, they're expensive for a reason. They are the best quality acrylic gouache that I've ever tried. My go-to acrylic gouache before this was the Turner acrylic gouache, and even with a Stay Wet palette, they dry super fast, like faster than regular acrylic paints, and they're stiff and kind of sticky and thick. These are lovely. They're creamy and smooth as butter. They don't dry as fast as the Turner acrylic wash or any acrylic wash that I've tried, either on the palette or on the paper, which is important if you're trying to do any sort of like gradients. The Turner was drying so fast, like before I could get like a second color like swept into it, it would be dry. Let's see, what else do I really like about them? They dry velvety matte, perfectly velvety matte. All the colors have the same level of matteness, if that's a word, which if you've used acrylic wash before, you know that sometimes some of them will be slightly not as matte or even a little bit shiny on the lesser brands. This doesn't have any of that. They're absolutely beautiful, and I really enjoy them. And also a shout out to their regular artist gouache, which I also tried this year. Also my new favorite non-acrylic wash for the same reasons as this acrylic wash. Just a joy to work with. So now we're on to number 5, and number 5 is this golden pastel ground. One of my main mediums up until this summer was soft pastel. I had to stop using them for health reasons. I did a video on it already. I'll link it down below in case you want to check it out. I'm hoping, if I had my own studio and a good respirator or air filtration system, I would start using them again. I don't have that right now, or it's just an open room off our house. It's like a 4-weather sun porch, and you know, there's not really doors. There's like an archway and stuff. So I'm not using them right now. I really miss them. But anyway, this pastel ground is wonderful. Sanded paper is expensive. This is almost as good as sanded paper. You can do your sketchbook pages with it. You can do like a big sheet of like cheap watercolor paper with it. A little bit goes a long way. And I know a lot of people will use like the Liquitex clear gesso, and that is nice too, but it does not have the same level of texture as this. If you do this right and do, you know, 2 coats, go in one way and then going the opposite way and making sure you brush out all the ridges, it's almost like working on sanded paper, which makes it lovely for putting in sketchbooks, which I'm probably showing you right now, some footage of me working on some sketchbook pages that have the pastel ground on it. I highly recommend it. It's beautiful. It's wonderful. Golden is a wonderful brand. They're my favorite acrylic paint brand too, although that's not in here today. So let's move on to number 6, which is the Princeton Aqua Elite brushes. So these are my most favorite. You're going to end up getting more than 11 items here because I have I'm going to do a shout out. But the Princeton Aqua Elite brushes are my most favorite for watercolor. I try not to use natural hair brushes. They're, you know, sable is related to ferrets, and I have a pet ferret, so for personal reasons I don't use them. I'm not going to judge anybody who does. You do you. I'm not. It's all, you know, that's your life. For me, because I love my little Miss Frita, I prefer not to use them. So I have been on a brush hunt for a long time, and I am happy with the current selections that I have. My most favorite are the Princeton Aqua Elite. You can get them for like $8 a brush. They're not super expensive. I also will use this isn't on my list, but I'm going to talk about it anyway, the Princeton Neptune for the details. They hold a little bit more water, so you don't have to keep going back over and over and over and wetting your brush with your paint mixture. So that makes it easier to work with those. And I've also been enjoying the Princeton Velvet Touch brushes as well, although I haven't completely, I don't know if I would need to I don't know if I would use them to replace the Neptunes or the Aqua Elites yet. I'm still testing them. The jury's out. They're lovely, but I don't know if I would replace the brushes I have with them yet. I haven't used them enough yet to know. So, let's see. Okay, this was a game changer for my acrylic painting. This is the Golden Satin Glazing Liquid, the slow drying extender for acrylic colors. I think I found this in early 2024, like around January 2024. I'm on like my 5th bottle of this. This is absolutely glorious. First of all, just so you know, if you paint in acrylics, you don't really want to be thinning your paint too much with water. A little is okay, but if you do a whole bunch of water, it's essentially you're going to have adhesion issues because there's not enough binder and whatnot in there to make it stick to the canvas. So this is, you can use this as, it's essentially clear acrylic paint. So like, if there's no binder issues with this because it has the binder in there. So you can thin your acrylics with this and it won't mess with adhesion issues, but that's not why I love it. The reason why I love it is because it slows down the drying time of your acrylics. Not a ton, but enough so that it makes blending a whole lot easier, before I was using this, I really struggled with acrylic paints, and if you've been around my channel a while, you've heard me talk about it. But now I am loving acrylic paints. I'm just really enjoying them. A lot of my work that I'm doing is acrylic paint now, and it's like a complete 180. If you had asked me in January of 2024 what medium I hated the most after charcoal, I probably would have said acrylic. And now it's in my top 3. I'm really loving it. So if you paint in acrylics and you haven't given this a try, or if you're struggling with acrylics, I would say try this. And I will link everything down below like I always do in case you want to try anything. I always try to link everything so people, otherwise I get, people asking questions and saying, where do I get this? Or, so everything should be linked down below. Okay, so that was number 7. Number 8 is, staying in the vein of acrylic and or oil painting, the new brushes that I am loving for both acrylic and top layers of oil paint are the Princeton Select. I am not affiliated or associated with Princeton in any way. I just really like their brushes. They are affordable. They're not super expensive. That's the same thing as affordable. They're really good quality. You don't get loose hairs falling everywhere, and I just really, really enjoy their brushes. I kind of wish they would make these in long handles. They don't. They only come in the short handles, but these are the Princeton Select brushes. They are excellent for acrylics and the top layer of oil paints, but they also make, I'm going to show you these two because these are really awesome. They make, this brush is, the dark colored one is the round blender, and this one is their scumbler. And for blending and scumbling, obviously, these are the best brushes I've found for both oils and acrylic. For that, I guess you could, but I like to keep my brushes for oils and acrylics separate since there's oil in one and water in the other. So I have a set of these for both of them, a set that I only use for acrylic and a set that I only use for oil, and I highly recommend these. I get mine at Blick. They are a family-owned business. Their prices are almost always the cheapest, and they get things to me really fast, and they have excellent customer service. So you don't have to buy the whole set on Amazon. You can get individuals at Blick, and I will link to that down below. I do get affiliate links from Blick, but it's no cost to you. It's just I get a little, they give me 25 cents and say, thanks for sending someone to our page. No cost to you, but I would recommend them even if I didn't have a affiliate relationship with Blick. I've always loved Blick. That's been my go-to art supply store for a really long time. They have a hub really close to my house, so when I order stuff from them with the free shipping that it's supposed to be kind of slow, but it's not. It usually gets here in 48 hours. It's awesome. So sticking with brushes, if you've been on my channel for a while, you know that way back in the day when I finished high school and went to university, I was going for a double major in art history and studio art, and my emphasis was oil painting. And I had some Blick Master Stroke brushes back then that I really loved. And then I don't know why I didn't buy any when I got back into it, but I was struggling with my brushes, and I went back and I looked through my supplies from 20 years ago, and I noticed that most of my brushes were the Blick Master Stroke, so I ordered some. These are some of my brand new ones. I saved them so I could show you because they're so pretty with the rose gold and the black and the ivory bristles, but anyway, these are by far the best oil painting brushes that I've ever tried. They're stiff enough so that you can do your first layers with them, but they're also soft enough that you can continue on and do the whole painting with them, including like the top, like if you're painting alla prima and you're doing that top fatter, thinner layer on top of the stuff below when the stuff below is still wet. This will leave a nice stroke of clear color without disturbing the paint underneath. So it's like you can do the whole painting with these instead of switching from a hard brush to a softer brush, except maybe for the very finest details, in which case like I would, in which case I would use the Princeton Select, which is softer still for the final details. That is what I do. But these are glorious brushes, and again, not super expensive. I think like even this big one I think was only like maybe $12. I mean, that's a big brush, and they're really good quality and they don't lose bristles. They're lovely. Okay, so now we're down to the last two. So number 10 that I found this year and I'm really loving is the Faber-Castell Graphite Matte Pit Pencils, and especially the 14B. This is my favorite. This is like the second or third pencil of these I'm on. I buy them. You can buy the set or you can buy them open stock at Blick. I think they're not much per pencil. I can't remember the price, sorry you guys, but the 14B is the blackest, darkest graphite pencil I've ever seen in my life. It is absolutely lovely. I've been using these since I found them this summer. I don't even know how I got this first set. I was looking through my drawers and I found them and I tried them and I was like, it was like a shock. I was shocked. I was like, this is the best. And I didn't even know I had them. I don't know how I got them. Maybe in a Sketchbox box. I don't know. But they are very nice pencils. If you don't want to do like the Blackwing, and especially if you're scanning in your artwork, like for illustrations, they don't have as much shine, so they scan a little bit better. Beautiful, glorious pencils. I highly recommend them. And then the last thing that I tried, there's also a video up for it, and I'm absolutely loving, is the Uni Jetstream 101. Now, this looks like just your regular old rollerball type pen. And it is. It's just a regular rollerball type pen. The special thing about this is that it is waterproof and light fast. Which is lovely. So I will often take these sketching with me. I can do watercolor washes over them. I used to sketch all the time with ballpoint pen when I would get bored in school, and I was looking to recreate that and do some sketching with them. And I was using like the Bic crystal and stuff, but super not waterproof, super not light fast. These are absolutely lovely. Again, really cheap. I think I got this whole box of 12 for like $9. And you can see I'm down to, I got this summer and I'm down to 7 in here now. So I've used 5. I hope my math is okay. I've used up 5 already in the last 6 months, and I am really, really enjoying them. So that's it for today, I think. That was the whole list of things I found this year that I am really, really enjoying. Stay tuned for sketchbook videos. Those are coming up. If you want to join my Patreon, the link for that will be down below. It's only $5. There's exclusive videos and vloggy posts and behind the scene photos, and you do get to go into my shop 24 hours before I do a launch, so that's fun. But check it out if you want. That's down below. And if you haven't hit the like or subscribe button yet, I would love it if you did. It is a free, no-cost way for you to help support my channel. And until next time, happy creating!